Welcome back to Let's Get Cooking. It's your girl Rashida, and look, y'all, I'm excited about this one. I'm gonna show you how to make some barbecue beef ribs in the oven in your kitchen. They're gonna be so good, delicious, and tender. Let's get ready to cook. All right, now I have here about 3 to 4 pounds of beef ribs, and as you can see, they're quite meaty. And I'm going to take these, it's just a couple of ingredients that go into these most flavorful, delicious beef ribs. So I'm going to start with my seasonings. And basically, I'm going to put about a tablespoon of each seasoning right here in this little bowl. And I have some garlic powder. I'm going to use some Cajun seasoning. I'm going to also use some paprika, brown sugar, a little bit of all-purpose seasoning, and I'm going to just mix them all in the bowl. So about a tablespoon of each, and I'm going to use every bit of the seasoning. And once I have all my seasonings mixed in the bowl, oh, one more thing, I'm adding a little bit of oregano or Italian seasoning also. Now once I have them all in the bowl, I just want to mix them well, and I'm going to put them on both sides of the beef ribs. But before I do that, still adding in my seasonings. And definitely you want to be liberal with the seasonings because this is a lot of meat and definitely needs a lot of flavor. So it's not too much, it's just the right amount. Now I did preheat my oven to 250 degrees, so we want to make sure to have a preheated oven. I am cooking these ribs slow and slow because the meat it starts off, of course, tough, but we want to get it to that tender stage. You have to cook it low and you have to cook it slow for 3.5 to 4 hours. So I'm cooking this for a while, but that's how you get that meaty, juicy, tender flavor is by cooking it low and slow. So that's how I'm gonna cook these beef ribs. And then once I do that, then I'm gonna put on the barbecue sauce and just broil that for about 5 minutes to get that nice, sweet, spicy sauce on the outside. All right. All my seasonings are together, just giving those a quick mix. Before my seasonings go onto the ribs, I will be adding some oil. And just like some vegetable oil, whatever type of oil you may have, I'm gonna add some oil to the meat first, and I'm also using a little bit of liquid smoke. Now you can find this just in the condiments aisle in your local grocery store, but what this does is gives it a slight grill flavor, as if you're cooking them outside. And you can cook these beef ribs outside on the grill if you have the time, but I'm cooking them inside where it's just a little bit more a little easier for today. So here I am putting on my oil and just a good amount, probably about 1 to 2 tablespoons of oil. I want to make sure it goes on both sides. Then I'm going to add about a tablespoon of that liquid smoke, and I'm using a hickory flavor. I saw hickory and I saw mesquite, but I chose hickory because I really love the flavor of hickory wood, hickory barbecue sauce. That's my thing. So I'm using hickory, that's the liquid smoke, hickory flavored liquid smoke. You do not want to put a lot. Very sparingly, I put a couple drops on each on both sides. All right, and like I said before, once I have my oil on, my liquid smoke on the ribs, then I'll be adding on the seasoning that I made in the bowl onto both sides. So I'm gonna let you watch the next few steps. Here I am just rubbing in. Want to make sure to rub, I'm gonna use my hands a lot to rub in the oil, the liquid smoke, and the seasonings into these beef ribs. I'm gonna just not moisturize them, massage the seasonings into the meat so it can get through all the layers. So I'm gonna let you go ahead and take a look at the way I season the ribs. And this is getting them ready before they go in the oven. And once I do season them, I'm gonna use a different cookie sheet, line out with foil, and put the ribs on there. And we're gonna go from there.
so far away. I've had a lot on my plate. I know that I've been so hard to reach, but I don't wanna be that man. I wanna do better by you. I wanna be better for you. No more taking you for granted. I wanna do better by you. Shed the old, embrace the new. No more taking you for granted anymore. So baby, please keep that door open for me just a little bit longer. Yeah, we could try to mend what is broken.
Okay, I finished that step, and this is how the beef ribs look. You see that? You want to see your seasoning. And this is what I didn't mention. I am going to marinate these for an hour to an hour and a half at room temperature because they're going right in the oven. So it's best to cook meat at room temperature instead of taking it from the refrigerator straight to the oven. So I'm going to just let these marinate for about an hour or two. And then there's my lined pan. Definitely want to put foil on it if you have some or if you choose to. It's just easier cleanup, I feel. Putting on those beef ribs that have sat for an hour to 2 hours. And they can go as long as overnight. So you can do this the night before. If you know you want to prepare your beef ribs the next day, let them marinate 24 hours. The longer they marinate, the stronger the taste and the seasonings are going to impart into the meat. So the longer the better. Anyway, these are going on the pan, and I'm going to cover it completely with foil. I want to lock in all the juice, all the moisture. That's how you get that tenderness in the beef rib, by locking in the moisture. So I'm fully covering my ribs with foil on the top and on the bottom. These ribs are sealed up and ready to go in the oven. My oven is preheated. It's on 250 degrees. I'm going to let these go for about 2 hours before I do my first check. So halfway through the cooking process, let's take a look at them right now. This is at the 2 hour mark. I just want to check and see how they're coming along baking in the oven. So I'm just peeling back that foil. Okay, they're coming along. They're looking good, but not nearly ready. I just use a little fork just to test that tenderness. See, you see, still, no, nope, nope. We got some time to go, but just doing a test. Okay, I'm gonna put the foil right back on and put them right back into the oven for another hour and a half to 2 hours. I'll check at about that 3.5 hour mark, see how I like them. If they need a little bit more time, I'll leave them in about 30 more minutes. So I'll decide when I get there. Just seal it back up. And you see the little juice that was at the bottom, that flavor, that juice, that's because the steam, with it being wrapped in foil, that steam helps create that tenderness, the tenderness in the meat. So that's why we wrap it. If I didn't have foil on it, it would just dry out. So it's a method to the madness. And just like that, voila, it has been 4 hours. I let these cook 4 hours, and you see a big difference right here. You see where the meat has receded and you see more bone. That lets you know that these ribs are cooked. They are now tender. There's plenty of juice at the bottom, plenty of moisture. And I'm going to just take that juice and I'm going to drain it because I don't need it sitting. But that's flavor right there. So Okay, once I drain off the juice, the drippings, then I'm going to add my barbecue sauce. You can use any kind of barbecue sauce, your most favorite bottle of barbecue sauce, your homemade barbecue sauce, whatever you want to put on your ribs. I'm using Sweet Baby Ray's. I like their hickory flavor. I like their sweet and spicy. So I'm just going to liberally apply the barbecue sauce to every part of these beef ribs. So that's the next step. I'm almost done. This is almost finished. Applying the barbecue sauce liberally. Okay, don't hold back. Let it loose. And I'm rubbing it on all sides. Oh, quick note, once the barbecue sauce, before these go back in the oven, I did have to adjust the oven temperature to a low broil because that's how we get that barbecue sauce to stick to these ribs without really cooking them any longer for 5 minutes. So before I put these back in the oven, once I put the sauce on, I adjust the temperature of the oven to a low broil. Then I'm going to put the ribs back in the oven for just 5 minutes. It does not take long because broil is a high heat and it can burn because the sugar and the sweetness in the barbecue sauce will burn, burn, burn. So for 5 minutes is all it needed. Then I take them out and my beef ribs will be ready to go. Ooh, I'm excited. My ribs are done. You all, we just made beef ribs. To be honest, this was my first time making beef ribs in the oven, in the house. I've made pork ribs plenty of time, but this is my first time conquering these beef ribs. And I must say, they get 2 thumbs up. They get A plus. They turned out terrific. I will definitely be doing this again, adding this to my regular rotation. These beef ribs were delicious, you guys. These are the final results. I'm just plating them, getting them ready. You can add any side dish. Make sure you have a vegetable in the starch on the side or just a salad. But these really are the main event. The beef ribs are done. Thanks for coming in the kitchen. Thanks for cooking with me. Today I showed you how to make some oven barbecue beef ribs. And let me tell you, they are delicious. I hope that you do try them out. And if you do, let me know. Thanks for getting in the kitchen. Thanks for cooking with me. Until next time, have a blessed day and a blessed week. Oh, please remember to subscribe. If you have not subscribed, click that subscribe button. Remember to like, subscribe, and share. Thank you. Thank you. I'll see you in the next video.